We're reading Skinny Bones, and this is Chapter 5. Has anyone seen my velvet pillow? T.J. Stoner brags about his baseball team more than any kid I've ever known in my whole life. So what if his team hasn't lost a game all year? It doesn't mean that they won just because of him. Everybody knows that just one person can't make the difference between a winning team and a losing team. After all, every single team I've ever been on has come in last place. And I don't care what anyone says. All those teams didn't lose just because of me. Probably. Anyway, this year I know for a fact that I am not the worst player on my team. The worst player on my team is Ryan Brady. Ryan broke his arm the first game of the season, and now all he does is sit on the bench. I'm sure I help the team out more than Ryan does. Probably. I play right field. A lot of kids automatically think that if you play in the outfield, it means you can't catch or throw. But my father says that's ridiculous. He says that outfielders are just as good as infielders. He told me that when he was a boy, he played in right field just like me. That really doesn't make me feel much better, though I have seen Dad play. He can't catch or throw. My mother says that when people like T.J. Stoner brag, they're just trying to get attention. As usual, she says to ignore them. But for some reason, whenever I hear T.J. start to brag about his baseball team, I just can't seem to keep my big mouth shut. Like one day, a few weeks ago, I heard him spouting off to a bunch of kids at the playground. My coach told me I'm one of the best Little League pitchers in the whole country this year, he bragged. As soon as I heard him say it, my mouth went right out of control. I started talking real loud to my friend Brian Dunlop. Hey, Brian, I forgot to tell you about my baseball practice last night. My coach let me try out for pitcher, and he said I had one of the best curveballs he's ever seen. Okay, I know it was a dumb thing to say. But Brian wasn't much help. He fell right on the ground and started laughing himself sick. You? He roared, You pitched? TJ came strolling over with his big smirky grin on his face. He bent down and tapped Brian on the head. Excuse me, but did I hear Skinny Bones say that he can throw a curveball? He asked. Brian held his stomach and busted out laughing all over again. TJ's smirk got bigger. Hey, Frankovich, how'd you like to make a little deal? He said. I shook my head and started to walk away. No, sorry, TJ, no deals. I'm going to have to tell you what I've been telling everybody else today. No matter how hard you beg, I cannot pitch for your team. My coach made me sign a contract. Brian let out another wild hoot of laughter. Apparently, the idea of me pitching was a lot more amusing than I thought. It's not like I've ever tried it before. Just last week I practiced pitching with my dad. It didn't actually work out that good, though. Most of the balls I threw didn't make it to the plate. The one that did beamed my father on the head. What kind of stupid pitch do you call that? Dad yelled. That would be my beanball, I yelled back. We packed up our stuff right then and went home. I'm not kidding. The man cannot take a joke. Anyway, TJ kept on bugging me. Come on, Alex, he pleaded. Just listen to my deal. What have you got to lose? By this time, a bunch of kids had started to gather. Okay, fine. Tell me your deal, TJ. But make it snappy. It's almost time for Brian to massage my pitching arm. Brian went off in another fit of hysterics. All right, here it is, said TJ. Since both of us are such good pitchers, why don't we have a contest after school to see who's the best? We'll even get a couple of kids to be the official umpires. What do you say, Alex? That'll be fun, don't you think? Oh, geez, what a mess. If I said no, everyone would know I was a liar. But if I said yes, everyone would be able to see how weak I threw. Somehow I had to get out of this. I hit myself in the head. Oh, man, I just remembered. My coach told me not to tire my arm out by being in any stupid pitching contests. I'm mostly just supposed to rest it on a velvet pillow. Thank you anyway, though. See ya. I started to walk away, but TJ grabbed me by the shoulders. I'm not asking you, Frankovich. I'm telling you. You get one of your friends, and I'll get one of mine. They'll be the umps. I'll meet you at the Little League field after school. If you don't show, we'll all know it's because you're a liar and you can't throw a curve. As he turned to leave, he stopped and looked back at me. Be there, chump. After everyone left, I looked down at Brian. He was still on the ground. I reached out my hand to help him up. Thank you, Brian. You were very supportive, I said dryly. Brian nodded his head. You're welcome. His sides were still hurting from all that laughing. "Geez, Brian, if you think this is funny, wait until you see my curveball," I said. This time, both of us started laughing. I figured I'd better laugh now while I still had the chance.